Really? In what world is that good enough for a flipping woodworker's voice, eh? The voice. The woodworker's voice. Which happens to be a great tortured device. Well, everyone should have a voice of one description or another. Now this one, which happens to be, well, imported and named by Silverline, is a really cheap voice. You give it about 20 odd pounds, you're around that sort of money. Now, I thought I'd share with you my findings. Now, I actually had this voice in my outside bench, which was under my shelter, just for sake of having a voice there, instead of getting something decent. I thought, I was going to be outside anyway, I was going to get wrecked. Got completely rusty, I cleaned it all up and given it another coat of paint, slightly different colour now. Now, there's a few things I found out about this voice, and a few things I had to do to actually make it usable. One, obviously, you've got to fit your jaws. Now, I kind of like my jaws high, as you can see. Now, and flush with the top of your actual bench. And this little tiny little mock-up bench here is the one I use when I do my 60-second short videos, and sometimes my long-form videos. It's just handy because it gets, obviously, it just brings the workpiece or whatever I'm doing a bit higher up in the VU. Now, obviously, I prefer my old record, number 53, quick release Vice. This thing is awesome. And it was old when I got it, and that must have been 30, 40 years ago now. 30 years ago now. And, well, might be longer than that. I was a kid. I was still at school. Anyway, this Vice here is a record number 53, quick release. I've cleaned it up a couple of times. I had to, did it well and stuff on the face here. Got to raise the top as well, raise the pressure point, but also the corner broke off. Got lumped with a hammer. Not a good idea, don't do that, no. But it's still going strong. This voice will still be about when I'm dead. So, okay, they're expensive, but definitely well worth the money, because you can still get similar voices. I don't think they're as good as they used to be honest. Now, if you get hold of an old one, well, then you can restore, clean it up, and you've got a blooming good voice. Blooming good quick release voice. Instead, you have options of things like this. There are voices out there, but they are a lot of money. New ones are. This is 20 quid. Cheap as chips. All right, so that is a plus side of this voice. But believe you me, the downsides really are down. I mean, they really are. Now, I fitted the jaws on it and what have you. I have to keep tweaking it because it's, as you can see, whereas this one's not like that, hardly any movement in that. For the size of the voice, hardly any movement. This thing, tiny little voice, look at that. You get what you pay for, that's what they say, isn't it? Now, I had to do a couple of little tweaks to it as well, because it would be worse than what it is. It's bad enough now, but it would have been worse. Obviously not having the quick releases. That's one thing. You keep winding it, the split pin that's in the end of the actual thread here, it cuts it off. Literally so soft, it just cuts it off. Like now, I've actually got to try and, line it up and get the screw back in again, which I think I've done now. Yeah, there you go. Otherwise, the whole thing will come off. So there's all this slop. The other thing I've done to it, you see this little block of wood here? It's like a bush. I've basically cut it around these two shafts here. These shafts, there's one there, and one on the other side as well. That you can see by the two little dots. Just bring it right there, so you can see a bit better. There you go. You see these little dots, that's the ends of those threaded shafts. It's two shafts with threads on the ends. And they go into this faceplate. It's just, everything's slack. Everything's slack. And every time you do it up, it's not in the same position. So you have to kind of like realign the top every single time. All right, you can see there it's not lining up. It's low that side, and it is this side. I don't know if you can see that. It just doesn't line up. And you get it about right, and then you have to really do it all over again because nothing sits in the same place. Okay, it's not horrendous for the money. It's cheap as chips. I know that. But if you're serious at your woodwork and you want to get a good vice, you're ready to, or make your own up and get yourself a vice screw or something. You'd be better off with that. Now, something else I had to do with this vice. When I fit these chocks, I had to fit them with the view that they're going to pinch at the top, and then as it tightens up, they'll clamp up. They'll clamp up at the bottom as well. They'll become parallel as it clamps a piece of wood up. So, for instance, if I grab a piece of wood here, and You might be able to see if I bring you back over again. This is a bit ad hoc video, I know, but if you look here, you can see there's less space at the top than there is at the bottom. Big gap there, little gap there. I had to make the chocks like that. Otherwise, when you did the vice up, it'd be in reverse and it wouldn't grip the top of the actual piece of wood to where you want the pressure to be. So that's the downside to the vice. And what happens now is if you watch, that'll literally close up now. So that was another little modification I had to make. I had to allow for that in my chocks. You know, these chocks here I put into the vice. But 20 quid, you know, it's not horrendous. And I only use this vice for when I'm doing my videos. So I'm not too worried. Although I would like to get hold of a decent vice, to be fair. Maybe someone will sponsor me. Maybe. So, would I buy it again? Probably not. Even though it's only 20 quid. Because it grates on me. Literally grates on me. It isn't smooth, it's not quick. You don't have no quick release, obviously, at that sort of price. It's only a small, 7-inch vice. But that mat slop, it shouldn't be like that. And if I remove the screws off my bush that I put on the bottom, do you see that move? Did you see that? You know, if it wasn't for this little wooden bush thing that I've screwed on the bottom there, I'll show you. That little thing there, that literally sits onto the actual rods. Clearing the threaded rod, obviously. But now look at it. For God's sake, really? In what world is that good enough for a flipping woodworker's voice, eh? What world? You tell me. Leave it in the comments down below. Maybe you've got this exact same voice and it's not like this. This one is like this. So as soon as I get a decent voice over here, this will be relegated to the bench outside again, I think. Yeah. Or as some kind of, maybe, like I say, a torture device. Yeah. Caroline, you're going to do as I say or there'll be trouble. Oh, I think there's a video of this. It's a film of this, isn't there? Where they put a knee in a vice. They squeeze it up. Yeah, I'm sure there is. And they crack a knee. Yeah, they're nasty. No, don't do that. No. Anyway, you tell me. Please leave it in the comments down below. I would be very keen to know if you've actually got one of these vices or anything like that. What sort of vice have you got? Or what are you even contemplating getting yourself a vice? Or are you happy to use old hold downs or, you know, or clamps and stuff like that? And it's, you know, you find that's good enough for you. For me, I need a vice. Yeah, definitely. I have to have a vice. So anyway, you tell me. Please leave it in the comments down below. But please boot the old like button because it helps the channel, you know. And I do actually read the comments. So please comment down below. Although I did struggle on that video that did 3.7 million views. So I did struggle on that one. So anyway, so it's time for you to go. So I'm excited to tell you though. So toodaloo.